Mm.
Welcome back, folks, to another week of Word of Mouth, talking mental health, relationships, careers, etc., etc. Y'all know the deal. Like and subscribe to the channel. Link down below to know all our social media platforms. So this week, we're discussing the way men should be loved. We're discussing this because I'm seeing more so now recently, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, where women don't generally know how to love men or understand how to love men. And what's coming across is that women are loving men the way they feel they should be loved versus the way they're saying they should be loved. So I'm going to play 2 videos and then we're going to go from there.
A lot of y'all swear y'all are giving men the world and give them absolutely nothing.
So I just want to share my perspective on this from a woman's perspective, from a wife's perspective, and from a dating coach's perspective. So I know a lot of women don't agree, and ladies, don't try to come for me, but I have to agree with what this content creator said. And this was a hard lesson that I had to learn. I'm still learning as a married woman. Being married, honestly, is probably what taught me this lesson. And now this is no excuse for men to cheat or anything like that, so I'm not condoning that. But a lot of times what we'll do as women is we do what we think is best. We give what we think is best. We show up in a way that we think is best. We be who we think is best. And we don't ask what they want or need. And if we do ask, we still do what we think is best. And then we wonder why they're frustrated and why they're not satisfied. Because we're doing what's best in our minds, what we think is best for them. I have learned if you ask a man what he want and need, he gonna tell you, no matter how simple it sounds. Most of the time, what they want is intangible, and that's what messes up.
So there's the first video. We're going to get into the topic of everything. And I'm going to say it. Everything to a man is not everything to a woman. And a lot of the things that's consisted of everything, it's more of like you're doing it for yourself too. It's a we thing. For example, I take care of your kids. That's a concept I hear women say a lot. I hear it on videos. I've heard it in real life. I've heard it in a lot of different situations. These are your kids too. This would have to be done regardless. So to use the terminology or the phrase to say these are your kids is completely asinine. And to say you take care of everything is completely asinine because you don't take care of everything. Going to work every day for 10, 15, 20 hours, whatever that is for that individual, is a draining task. It's mentally draining and physically draining, whether how mundane it is. It's bad for the body. You have to keep your health up. You have to keep right. Then having to come home and do things and wanting everybody needing their time and their affection and all this other stuff when you get home. This is not to discredit or dismiss saying that housework isn't difficult. Taking care of small kids isn't difficult. But at the same time, to sit here and have this victim mentality and say you're doing everything when it's like 9 times out of 10, most of the stuff you're doing would either have to be done or it's not significant to the improvement of the marriage or the relationship, it really is indifferent to the guy. Like, for example, you buy curtains. Oh, these curtains look great, yada, yada, yada. It's great for you. You like the curtains, but a guy doesn't care one way or another about these curtains. Generally speaking. He might not even notice them for a weekend. He might ask how much they cost. Especially if you're a housewife and you spent $500, $600, $700, $1,000, $10,000 on curtains, and he's thinking, well, damn, this money could have been used for this, and this, but we have curtains. Nice decor. I'm sure it looks pleasant, but that's irrelevant to a guy. So, I'm gonna play this second video, and maybe this woman can explain it better than what I'm explaining it, or give you a different light on what's going on.
It took me one time to learn with hurt feelings that my husband doesn't want to be loved like a woman. Men similarly come packaged from the factory wanting 3 basic things: to be nurtured, right? I say keep that man fed. To be respected, it is vitally important that when he comes home, he feels honor from his queen, that he is appreciative of what he does out in the workforce to provide for his family. And then number 3, to have really great sex. Men love to feel physically attracted and love physical affection. And not all women, but most women love acts of service, like, babe, take out the trash. Oh my gosh, doing the dishes after, I've had a long day with the kids. Gift giving, like the thought of my husband being somewhere and seeing something and like, oh my gosh, my wife would love this. That makes me feel special. And so I made the horrible decision of one year for his birthday, getting him this herringbone chain that he could wear every day, like, a chain under his shirt. He wore it once, he wore it twice, and I never saw it after that. Immediately, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, he doesn't appreciate me. He doesn't love me. Like, I spent a lot of money on that. But after I spoke to him, he gave me this analogy that was just beautiful and I was grateful for. He said, babe, spending time with me is special to you, right? I said, absolutely. He said, being next to me and me inviting you to things makes you feel special, right? I said, absolutely. He said, well, Sunday, watching football all day, is that special to you? I said, no, not really. But that doesn't negate.
So here's the second video, and her husband explained it beautifully. I've seen the woman on different social media platforms and whatnot. I can't remember her name, but shout out to her. And he used a football analogy. Sitting on Sunday and watching football day is not meaningful to his wife. So you can't put your expectations on what's meaningful and what's promising to you onto your partner. Granted, you should have the same type of standards and moral values. Those are different. Those should be pretty much synonymous. But when it comes to stuff like that, doesn't mean much to guys. It won't. Men tend to like acts of services. Men tend to like things that'll make their life easier. If you're not here to make the guy's life easier, you're probably considered a hindrance or a headache to him. If you're causing different situations, if you're not cooperating, if he's telling you, hey, I got this, and this to do, we can do this another time, and you're consistently disregarding, disrespecting, or ignoring what he's asking for or what his requirements are, then that will cause a rift and a problem as well. Because men don't look at it as just not listening. Men look at it as a lack of respect and lack of cooperation. Because at the end of the day, if that ship sinks, nobody's going to look at you and say, you're the wrongdoing as a woman. Nobody's going to look at you and say, you're the wrong, this is your fault, yada, yada, yada. They're going to look at the man, the head of the ship, and say, you're the failure, you're this, you're that. This is the why these things didn't work out. So that's a lot of responsibility, accountability, and pressure for a man to have. So thinking that the things you like and enjoy are the same things he like and enjoy are completely different, or what he needs. For example, I'm like, babe, I need you to iron this shirt. You don't like ironing, it's not your thing, you hate it, whatever. So instead of ironing the shirt, you take it to the cleaners. Now you took it to the cleaners, cool. Next day comes, babe, where's the shirt I asked you to iron? Oh, I took it to the cleaners for you. Why'd you take it to the cleaners? This is the shirt I needed for this day, and now I have to go out and buy another shirt or see if that shirt's available for me at the cleaner. And 9 times out of 10, they're usually not ready today. They're ready in 2 to 3 days. So now you created an inconvenience. You've made him spend money that he didn't want to spend, all because you felt like this is what he needed at the time, when all in reality, he just needed you to iron the shirt. Now, it may seem like a small, insignificant thing, but it's like putting pennies into a jug. When you're constantly just disregarding what he's saying, disrespecting what he's saying, just not listening, not cooperating, not following his lead, and you keep putting these pennies in the jug, that weight becomes heavier and heavier and heavier for him to deal with, and you become less intolerable, he becomes more aggravated, more annoyed, and less likely to want to deal with you. So these are things you need to be mindful of when you're doing things for your man, and what's taking place when you're not getting the reaction you need. Maybe he does have depression, there could be other outliers, but generally speaking, this is the reaction you get to things are based on what he's asking to be done or what he's requiring to be done versus what's actually being done. So that's all I got to say on this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is Word of Mouth. Peace.